as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 11 carries, 82 yards.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
On second down, McCaffrey trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Everson Griffin. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Detroit! From the gun, Lawrence. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 33 and a first. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to the ground on first, it's McCaffrey. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Defensively, let's go ahead and meet the starting 11 for Minnesota. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the number 1 overall offense in the league.
Off the play fake, Lawrence. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has...
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Daniil Hunter in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First down, here's Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
On second down, Cook. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
Kyle Rudolph had his second Pro Bowl appearance last year when he had 8 touchdowns, just 1 off of his career high. One of the most likable, upbeat players in the league. Continues to improve as a blocker, as one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the league. One of the guys that the Vikings like to build around for the future.
On third down, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Brandon, lest my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, that's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Wide open receiver complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And the QB rating right now, sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. But I think 158.3 is the number one.
Nope, that's the
right. That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this belongs to the Vikings. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Lawrence looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Lawrence. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Well, they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point put through by Succop. And the lead is now 10-7. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A give. This is Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A very solid gain of 27.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Cousins now from the 50. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. 20! A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball, all right? When guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, they're going, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on them, they get scouting reports, they start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game in order to keep up that type of production.
That's a good call, because he's a known entity. See how they defend him going forward. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lawrence. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Everson Griffin able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from the 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
All right, now, look at 56.
Throwing on 1st down, Lawrence. And Jones has it over the middle. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And that is incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on 4th down. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And this is caught. He hits more. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Falcons are in for 6.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Extra point up and good by Suckup. And it's now 17-14. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins on first down. And Rudolph has it left side. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Second down, Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On first and 10, Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That throw good for 4. It's second down. On play action, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And here now come the Falcons. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee.
They've got his man complete. A gain of 32 that time.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
On first and 10, Lawrence looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. 15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up first and 10. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. And it's the Buccaneers who are out in front with that game closing in on halftime. Mike Evans, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, we're off to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting 49ers who are out in front. Dante Pettis, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital. See what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And that game all even as they host the visiting Philly.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. They give him a gain of 37. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did. I
think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminded me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
To throw is Cousins. That is caught at the 7. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 19 yards that time for number 19. They'll run with Cook. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to...
And this is going to be intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. They've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. On the tackle that time, it's Trey Waynes.
All right, now, look at 56. Look
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, sets you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep the... And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Suckup for the extra point. Extra point put through by Suckup, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there for Minnesota. 43 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding, offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Second down.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
3rd and long for Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, You have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well. Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going to the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. Here's Matt Bosher now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal.
He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th.
Leave it. Bring up 48.
Cousins now on second down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Watch it now, Barney.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. First by him near the 35. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
From the gun, Lawrence. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 19 yards to pick up there. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Watch him now, Barney. No. Check. Patriot. Hut. Check 52.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the first down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
To throw on 3rd down. Lawrence throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Oh, that one got away from him. Short distance kick missed. No good. Way wide to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. So we've seen these be tricky from time to time. You know, you've almost got to cut the ball to make it go through. And this time he cut it a little too much, and he sliced it.
Yeah, and he'll tell you, no excuses on this one. It's a kick every NFL kicker should be able to make in his sleep. But your word was definitely correct. He sliced that one, and he'll miss it wide to the right.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. Back to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it a 2nd down. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you talk about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted...
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Akeem Talib. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. And his 2 touchdowns, a big reason they're winning right now.
So meaningful when you score and it's got your team out there in front. Changes the complexion of everything you're doing. It's one thing to score on garbage time, but these count. This is a big deal, and he's making those types of plays. And I think they'll keep finding ways to get it to him.
I was just going to say probably going to go back to him. That one looks like he'll throw here. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. As they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. To throw on 2nd down. Lawrence escaping the pressure right. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. Defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. And that kneeled down a little extra sweet. You get the win, and you knock out somebody's perfect season.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because it's not a championship game yet, but the team that's undefeated feels like a champion. So you've won a little bit extra in this one. Yeah, they've got to feel great about taking a knee here.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Falcons, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Saints will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. Thanks for tuning in.